Hi Pisces, welcome to your December reading. This reading is for Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising for the month of December. I'm going to keep that for the month of December. I hope you guys are doing well, and we're going to just jump right in. So when I was focusing on your energy, I don't know if you've ever read this book. I don't even know the title of it, so hopefully you know what I'm talking about. But there's this children's book where there's a fish, and he has all these colorful, really beautiful rainbow-like, scales. And he gives all the other fish his scales at some point until he ends up with just one scale. And then I think, I'm not doing it justice, but I think the point of the story is like, he is finally, in the end, recognized for this unique trait that he has and how beautiful it is. I'm also getting just like a very strong building of energy. I think you guys have been doing a lot of inner work. I think you've been doing a lot of change in your external environment too. You've been meeting goals, you've been accomplishing things, and there's something about you that is very special, that is worth taking note of, worth noticing. And I'm almost getting like it's something that you might have even tried to hide, or that you didn't value in the past, or that other people didn't value you in the past. And finally, it's like you're gonna come into this situation where people value you for this very trait that you once felt you needed to hide. And it's going to become the thing that's going to bring you peace, love, happiness, admiration from other people. So that could be different for all of you, but I'm just getting a sense of like major progress and finding value in pieces and parts of you that you once didn't find value in. Okay, that's it. So we'll see where that takes us here. And like I said, it's going to be different for everybody. We're going to do the main part of the reading with the Wild Unknown Tarot. I will pull from the Morgan Greer if we need clarity. And then at the end, we'll pull an Oracle card and it's a Law of Attraction based card. So first of all, right up above, we got the Five of Cups, but it's in the reverse. This is a card of sadness, of heavy emotion. This is a card of loss. However, it's in the reverse, and it came out up on top. So it's overcoming sadness, overcoming difficulty. More than just sadness, this to me is like a generational kind of card. Karma, this is, things from your childhood, things from your past, things that were passed down to you from your family, from your parents, addictions, negative habits, loss, those sorts of things that don't just affect us, but travel down the family line, right? The genealogy. And I see you overcoming it because it's in the reverse. So again, it kind of brings me back to that, like finding beauty in something that has caused a lot of pain, something that has caused you to hang your head low in the past. You're gonna find emotional strength in it. You're going to be able to fill your cups with this thing that's been very sad. Up above on your mind, we have justice. So looking for a fair outcome, hoping for a fair outcome, just turning tragedy in general to triumph. But you're still not quite at the place where you're blooming, but it's right there for you. What's holding you back from the past, preventing you from going where you want to go, and how do we let this go? Internal, external, strength reverse, the star reverse. Ooh, okay, Pisces. So you're right there. Okay, let me just give you an overview here. Eight of Swords. You see, this is a monarch butterfly. Butterflies represent transformation. They represent overcoming. They represent total ego death, transformation, right? They start out as a caterpillar. All of their cells, all the structure dissolves and turns into chaos, and then reforms itself based on a new pattern that takes them to new heights. So all of this transformation is going on inside this chrysalis here, and yet you see the environment is dangerous, right? It's not conducive. When that butterfly pops open, they're very fragile when they first come out, and they have to sort of like beat their wings to get the, I don't know if it's blood or whatever fluid to fill up their wings. dry them off, right? It takes a while for them to spread their wings and be able to take off and be strong once they hatch out. It's a transition. Now, you see here all these swords. Swords represent the words, the criticisms of other people, even internal thoughts. It's communication, really, the air element. However, these swords have been placed here. So this is not your internal thoughts. These are all like challenges coming in from your environment, challenging your metamorphosis, your transformation. It is in the reverse. So it's telling me that you've overcome, or you're in the process of overcoming, because this is in your recent past. So in your recent past, you were going through a deep, deep transformation where you were fragile, you were delicate, and your environment was not very supportive of that change. It's in the reverse, so it's telling me it is in the past. You have let this go. Many of these things that were challenging you in the past aren't present in your current reality. And how do I know that? Because you are the Empress right now. You are in reverse, which means you're not quite, like, the energy is there internally, but you haven't quite been able to manifest it on the external yet. This is like, you know, pregnancy, like a baby in the womb that hasn't, it's being formed, right? It's being made, and it hasn't like debuted, it hasn't come out yet. But the Empress is all about bringing the internal, bringing forth life, right? Being a vessel of life. It's also the third card in the major arcana. 3 is always the card of like first fruits, like the beginning, the first physical manifestation of something. So the new you is being born, Pisces, but you're just right there and you haven't come out yet. Challenging you is the world. So this is both what's most difficult for you right now, and also what universe is asking you to step into and to embrace. You have the whole world right in front of your hands, but you can't step out into the world as this old you, this old self that's very, you know, limited and sad, right? And carrying around all this sadness, because there's more waiting for you, but you have to complete this transformation. You have to step fully into your new iteration before you can step out into the world. So it's challenging you. It's right there. It's like, here's the world ready, you know, for you to take. On your subconscious mind, we have the 2 of Swords. So this is internal conflict, cognitive dissonance, right? You hold one belief and you hold another belief, and they're conflicting, and you don't know which one to go with, which choice to make. It's causing inner conflict, and you see the sun caught up in the middle here. The sun is even blacked out because until you make that choice, you can't see anything. I'm getting, like, you know, in quantum physics, there's the double slit experiment. It's a famous experiment on the power of witness. Ooh, look at that. The power of witness, the power of observation, really, and expectation on the outcomes. So really quickly, they did a experiment where they passed light through these slits in a box, and they were trying to see whether the light was a wave or a particle. Well, when nobody watched, when they watched it, it made particle patterns on the back of the board. When nobody watched it, it was a wave, meaning it was indeterminate. It wasn't decided yet. And the perception or the expectation of the researchers, of the scientists, influenced whether or not the light beam showed up as a particle or a wave. This is so foundational for manifesting and for creating your reality, because this black sun, right? It's like the sun represents you, your ego, yourself. If you don't know which way you want to go, you're stuck in this sort of like stasis where you can't see things for what they really are. You can't even see potential, because all of your attention, all of your perspective is caught up in this, well, should I do this or should I do that? So sometimes the remedy, Pisces, is not even making the right choice. Sometimes the remedy is just making a choice at all, just deciding to move forward and get yourself out of this stuckness And then the vision that you have for yourself will manifest, because where you put your attention is quite literally your experience. What you focus on is what manifests in your life. So knowing that, do you want to focus on this feeling of like conflict? What's holding you up? Are you worried about other people's opinions, what they might think of you? Are you worried about living up to some expectation that you have or that someone else has? Do you feel like you just don't have enough information? Do you feel there's a remedy for all of that? If you feel like you don't have enough information, go and research, right? But give yourself a timeline, because Pisces, we are the kings and queens of indecision, right? We see all possibility and we know it's all possible. And so to make a choice, there's something very final that a Pisces realizes about, you know, what they give their attention to. They know that once they focus on something, it's sort of like final, and we can have this sort of bad habit of not wanting to like finalize anything. We want to keep all possibilities open, right? But that can also hold you back. So this is on your subconscious mind. You're maybe not aware of it, but you have these conflicting beliefs that are causing this like stop in your life right now. When I pulled clarity for this, I pulled the 8 of coins. So this is about working. This is about working hard, getting to work. Just go and do the physical things that you need to do. Just put in the time, put in the work. You know, this is a very creative outlet that he's doing. He's literally stamping the coins and stacking them up. And he's literally creating abundance and wealth for himself in real time. So that's what you need to focus on. If you do get stuck on like, should I go this way? Should I go that way? Just remember to go back to action right now, Pisces, because that's what's going to be most helpful. And I just want to say overall, we have justice, we have the Empress, we have the World, we have strength, and we have the Star. Most of them are in reverse, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 major arcana cards. Major arcana are the overlapping themes in our lives, that the archetypes that we take part in. So like mother would be an archetype, daughter would be an archetype, career or soldier or warrior or career woman, right, would be an archetype. And that's this one here. The Star is an archetype of wishing for your future, creating your future in your mind so that you can see clearly with that third eye what it is that you want for yourself. So they're all present, Pisces, which is telling me things are moving, you're shifting, you're ready to shift from one phase in life into another. But there's a few, most of them are in the reverse. So there's a few little things that are holding you back. And we're going to dig into that a little bit deeper here. But just remember this conflict is kind of what's central to this reading. It's what's stopping everything up, and it's in your subconscious. So some shadow work would be super helpful. Any kind of shadow work or visualization work would be very helpful for you right now, Pisces. Okay, so then we've got justice on your mind. So this is like you're wanting a fair outcome. You know you've put in the work. I'm almost getting a negative connotation though, even though it is upright. And it's wanting to see like a just outcome is what's very much on your mind. But just be careful that you don't expect a particular outcome so much that you become disappointed with whatever presents itself, right? We still need to be able to roll with the punches and roll with what life throws at us, right? And then speaking of what life is throwing at us, we have the 8 of Wands, and this came out as an overall, but it's in the reverse. So very fast movement forward. It's almost got a defensive quality about it. Wands are the fire element. So it's like, this is what motivates me. This is why I'm doing this. This is what I'm going after. And I'm going to just, anything and anybody that gets in my way is gonna have to take a back seat because this is what I'm doing. So it's very much like manifesting your desires and your motivations into the world. When it's reversed, it's telling me all of that fire is inside of you. And then when I asked for internal and external guidance, we have the Strength card. Strength is one of my favorite cards. It's about finding that inner strength that, why do you do it? You do it for you. And when it's like, what does it say in the Bible? Jesus says, when you come to know, yourself, or when you know that the Father is in you, right? When you know that you're God, when you know that you are just as worthy as an ant or, an elephant, and you're a part of this creation, and we're all here to dance, and we're all here to interact and create the vision for life that we ourselves want. When you know that, he says, you'll look at the mountain and say, move, and the mountain will move. Nothing is insurmountable when you see that vision for yourself, because like the double slit experiment, you are literally influencing what happens with your vision. So you have all this fire inside of you. Why are you struggling to find that inner strength? What's going on internally that's stopping you from stepping out into the world? Now, I do want to go back to the fragile that I was talking about. Transformation makes you fragile, right? When the mental or physical structures that you rely on, that uphold sort of your life, or that form the foundation of your life, when those dissolve or when those fall apart, that could be losing a job or changing jobs or a relationship or even changing where you live. When one of those pillars falls, it's you're on shaky ground, right? You're a little bit vulnerable for a while because you don't have this. It comes back to security and safety. You don't have this safety, this protection that you had before. And that's part of growing up, right? Is when we're very young, hopefully we are enveloped in all of this safety, and all these structures are built up around us. We come into them already made. And as adults, as things change, those start to fall away. And the challenge becomes creating that inner strength from within us, right? Realizing that we create our realities, and we need to learn and know how to make the structures that we need to feel safe from within us and bring them out into the world. But that doesn't take away the fact that it's very destabilizing. It's very scary. What I will tell you is find security, find safety and security in your daily life, in your habits, Pisces, if you are going through this change, because we know you're incubating something wonderful right now. As the Empress, you're growing that creation, that baby. You might very well actually be pregnant, and maybe you don't know it. For some of you, for others of you, you're harboring a business. You're starting a new life, a new vision for yourself, and it's all just incubating. It's percolating inside of you, but you haven't yet expressed it. You haven't yet brought it out into the open. And the fact that the world energy is here, it's right there for you. It's available. It's almost like you have to feel safe and secure enough internally to step out. And that comes back to this justice. It's a positive card. However, justice is like worldly justice, right? So like a judge making a fair case, you getting accolades for the hard work that you've done. It's like getting the result that is just and is fair and is right. What we think is just and fair and right is not always what is actually just and fair and right, right? And then also, sometimes we can project our own desires of like what we think something should be out onto the external world, and that's very much on your mind. You could also have like a recent loss where you thought that you were going to get something you worked really hard for. You sort of like transformed yourself to be part of, and then you feel like it didn't manifest. Just know the reason, I know it doesn't help in the moment, but the reason it didn't manifest is because there's something so much greater for you. It's like you conformed yourself to fit in a small box, and you're meant for the whole world. Really what I'm seeing, you guys. And then your external environment, we have the star. So the star is wishing upon a star. The star is taking your inner vision from the realms of the internal and making it external. This is your external challenge, which is interesting because it's a very like internal process of defining what you want, right? Defining what you want to manifest. You see she's naked. It's like bearing it all. There's an element of being fragile and exposed. And of course, you have this dream, but of course you don't want to throw it out there because you don't want other people to throw you off. You don't want other people meddling in it, pouring their emotional water into your pond, right? When it's gonna mess up your flow and your vision, and it might make you doubt yourself. You're already battling with this internal conflict. You don't need any more external conflict. And that is correct, Pisces. However, that's where I say I'm keep coming back to like this safety thing, and how when you go through transformation, you feel very fragile and very exposed, like the butterfly. And it comes, you know, it's just reminding me of it because she's naked. You need to learn to find safety in yourself, strength in yourself. You need to be able to make your world and your internal values such that you know you're going to be okay no matter what. You know that God provides for you. You know that regardless of what happens in the external, you're going to be okay. And whatever happens is meant to happen, and you make the most of it. That faith factor is what is going to take you from having a dream but being a little bit afraid to put it out there to being unstoppable, Pisces. And again, like having that fire burn inside of you, and then all of a sudden just going out with it, and you don't care what other people think because nobody can stop you, because you know your inner vision is stronger than anything anyone can say to you, because it's your higher purpose. It's you were meant for it. You were given this vision. You are a vessel, like the Empress. You are a vessel for life, right? And you do that fearlessly and without fear of judgment, because you serve a higher vision. You're part of a bigger vision. So what these people over here have to say can't ever sway you, because they're not part of your vision, right? They're not part of your perception or your expectation for yourself. So I hope I'm doing that justice, explaining it right. I also wanted to go back to the vision I had in the beginning about the fish, and how he had these beautiful scales, and it's like everybody made fun of him. I believe this is how the story goes. And then eventually he ends up giving all his scales away until he only has one rainbow scale left. And I don't know what the moral of the story was, but for me, it's like, don't go giving away your shine or what people don't appreciate you for. Don't go giving away the most precious parts of yourself in order to be liked by other people, because in the end, they're just going to incorporate that into them, and then you're going to be left without the thing that made you special, right? So don't give up on your unique, special qualities. There is something, it's going to be different for everybody. This something you've gone through, something that was very painful, was very sad, and it's going to bring you immense strength, Pisces. You just have to build that foundation of safety for yourself. A really good book that I really like is The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. And then also any of the work of somatic healing and therapy. It's all about creating safety in the body. And it's so, we don't think of it as vital, but it is so vital, because you don't realize when you have anxiety, it's because deep down your body doesn't feel safe. So it's pumping out all these, you know, stress chemicals that are influencing how you think and how you feel. And if we can just reestablish safety within the body, then everything else will fall into place, because you have the vision. You've been doing the work. You know, it's like you have the whole world in front of you. You have opportunity. You do have this inner strength, but it's all reversed right now, okay? Actually, I'm going to pull one guidance. What does Pisces need to do to turn all this right side up? What does Pisces need to do to turn all this right side up, please? What does Pisces need to do? That's it. 3 of Cups in reverse. Okay, 3 of Cups is drinking and being merry and chatting, and you see this, it's called a murder of crows, right? And then we have these 3 cups. 3 is the first fruit, making something manifest. So 2 things. Be careful going out too much with other people, and yeah, just be careful about wasting too much of your energy. We are in holiday season, lots of invitations, lots of parties going on, lots of opportunity for socialization. Just be very selective with where you go, and make sure that it's filling your cup and not draining your cup, Pisces. When you do go out and drink and be merry with other people, it can be a very good thing, but just make sure you're not doing it to the point where it's draining you. And then also be careful about telling people about your dreams, about your vision, because you're not quite there yet, because it's still incubating. I'm not saying be afraid of putting it out into the world, but I'm just saying it's still incubating, it's still growing. So just be careful about sharing too much of what you've got going on, about what you're going to be doing, because you don't want them to sway or influence you in one way or another. This vision that you have is directly from God. This vision is divine. This vision is part of your higher purpose. It's meant to be. It's already just being born within you, right? So it's fragile. So what I would say is work on building that safety and go to social events and parties and whatever that are going to build your sense of confidence and your sense of community and make you feel better and good about yourself and fill your cup, rather than anything that's going to drain your cup. Okay, so just be selective about it. And again, all the energies right here. We have the World, the Empress, the Star, Strength, and Justice. It's all going to turn out exactly how it needs to turn out, Pisces, but you're just still kind of in that waiting phase right now. We got Lizard. Interesting. I'm going to go ahead and read Lizard. Okay. Instinctual. I'm going to show you the card. Instinctual. Sensitive to the subtle. Dreamer. The lizard is an expert in the realm of sensory perception. It is as if it has a sixth sense. The lizard hears what is yet to be spoken and sees what is yet to be manifest. Although this is an amazing gift, it can easily wear the lizard down. Big crowds, lots of travel, or overstimulation will drain a lizard of their magical essence. This card is an indication to pull back from the bright lights and big city. Return to the inner artist who's been whispering your name. When in balance, artistic, telepathic, spiritual. When out of balance, elusive, non-committal, flaky. To bring into balance, focus on a creative project. Oh my gosh, you guys. Does that not echo this Three of Cups in reverse? Don't go out to party and socialize just for the heck of it. It's going to drain your cup instead of fill it up. And don't talk too much about what you're doing, your inner vision, because you have a big, beautiful inner vision for yourself. Like I said, it's straight from God, and other people don't yet see it. And it's not their job to see it. It's okay. It's your job to see it and to endure this time of growth, this time of nurturance, until the time when you're ready to step out with your dreams fully and have everybody see them. But it's right there. There's this huge energy of incubation, Pisces, happening, and I'm super excited to see what happens in the new year. I'm a Pisces sun, and this is like my business. I've been working on Love Evolution. I've been working on my blog posts, my offerings, tons of things, and building up on the back end so that I can, have more to offer you guys and share all these ideas and these gifts that Spirit is giving me. So at any rate, keep going. You're doing exactly what you need to do, and God has your back. God knows what you're doing. He sees what you're doing and encourages you to just keep going, okay? It's all going to turn out. It's all going to be beautiful. And the most important thing is you've done the really, really, really hard work of looking at your inner self and bringing up all of that shit from the past, okay? And it's going to only start getting better from here, okay? I love you guys so much. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate your comments. I really, really appreciate it when you subscribe, and I love to hear from you guys. If you would like a personal reading, I will link my website down below. You can check that out. I do energy healing, shadow work, and personal readings. You can also check me out on social media. I will link that down below as well. And I freaking love you guys. I will see you in February.